Community, and welcome to Entropy and Comics and another edition of this week's signed books. Kind of an augmentation of today's signed books. This week, what I'm going to end up showing you is a culmination of essentially what I ended up getting the past week and a half, a little over a week. Starting off with a couple of things. One, I want to touch on the fact that I was trying to set myself a goal. One was to try to get 150 books signed in roughly like a 2-week time period. And then another one was to get another 150 signed. Actually, it was 200 signed in one time period, another 150 signed another time period. It was supposed to be 350 books in a month. That's what I was going for, 350 in 1 month. I had drawn up this whole big old schedule of how I was going to do this and didn't quite meet the quota I was setting for myself. However, it wasn't entirely, a failure in the sense I've obtained a lot of great stories from the signatures I received. Individuals did not show up. Also, individuals departed early to go ahead and do panels. They decided to go ahead and start early. So just, circumstances led to the factor that I didn't receive all the signatures that I was going for due to the fact of these instances that arose out of kind of nowhere. The cool thing is because of these circumstances led me to go ahead and have discussions with individuals that I didn't foresee, which is in part one of the things that I want to go ahead and discuss. It's interesting as you go ahead and hang out with individuals in your various interests that we have in our collecting. Now, when you start having conversations with individuals next to you, you end up broadening your scope of not only your own collection, and to sometimes end up buying more stuff, but also the understanding of what you collect and why you collect it. Sometimes there's two. For most of the opinion and the idea of sometimes not of understanding why someone would collect something or why they would do something, it becomes a little more clear, even if you don't necessarily agree, why someone decides that they want to collect what they collect and how. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that was one of the things that ended up arising during a couple of the events that I went to, is I ended up seeing so many different people collecting in so many different ways, and individuals that had recognized me from San Diego Comic-Con, LA Comic-Con, some of the local shops from around here at various signing events, and at in times various discussions with artists or creators that then invited them to either them introduce themselves to me or me being introduced to them because of the circumstance that then arose. Point of all this, I guess, is understand that we all come from different scopes, I guess, and we all have different ways that we collect or think about the way we collect. And that, we hear it all the time, but there's no true one way that is right or wrong. It's just different flavors, different ways, so forth. And it's abundantly clear when you start coming to the individuals and again, having an understanding of, one, the dichotomy of individuals that you end up seeing out there, and two, that as many as people that you see also includes as many different ways in which that we all enjoy the hobby in which that we take part in. Just saying. So after I made that whole little monologue of I don't know necessarily why, just wanted to say, I guess, thank you, community. I appreciate you. I've learned a lot in a lot of these signing events that I've been going to. And in so doing, I've been meeting a lot of people. Excuse me. And what it's that I'm doing is it's been allowing me to better understand not only the hobby in which that I enjoy, but the one major factor I think I'm trying to touch on is understanding the hobby in which that everyone else also enjoys, that kind of aligns with mine too, which has been really cool. So yeah, I didn't necessarily hit that goal of trying to get all those signatures that I was looking for, but at the same point, I think I hit a better one, which was just have a better understanding of my own collection. So before I even get any farther into that, I want to go ahead and say, hey, Christina, thank you again for hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Seriously. And DJ, you are most welcome, sir. I hope everything's going well with you. I hope everyone enjoyed what I sent out to him. And yeah, Hey, it's what we do, right? All right, so let's go ahead and start off by one. When I was a kid, I ended up understanding and by definition learning that a remark was just a statement or a saying, a remark. How you doing? Just simple little quips, some little statements. I guess by today's standards, almost like old school memes. And I used to love asking for writers to give me their remarks and artists to go ahead and give me little mini sketches and sometimes remarks with them. In the case of when I went to go see the cast of The Simpsons contribution to the comic of Boingo, that was Steve Nance, Nancy Vance, Matt Groening, and the name escapes me right now. Oh, Bill. His last name escapes me right now too. So, anyways, my point being, I asked for a picture from Bill and Matt to give me a picture of Itchy and Scratchy, and then another picture of Bart, and then it says Cowabunga. Now the sketch was a sketch, and the remark was him saying Cowabunga. That was considered an artist sketch remark. Today's stuff I don't understand. It's everyone calls things different. So what I'm getting at is what I used to ask is for writers to go ahead and give me remarks, and I just started doing that depending on the individuals. Yo, I am back in, and so are you. I appreciate you, brother, and so you too, Laura. Seriously, hey, look, there's Legend. There you be, and Ben, how you be? So so I had Josh Williamson, who is now writing the G.I. Joe comic that just recently launched. I end up asking of him to go ahead and give me the famous saying that was during the time of awareness for Nancy Reagan era when she gave out the, DARE program. Part of that was wrapped into public service announcements with the cartoons of yore, and that's what led to knowing is half the battle. So I had to ask, hey, dude, could you please and he said for sure. And it was funny because we both were recapping the same memories about what led up to that and everything about that. And it was just freaking awesome. So not only that, but I had to actually get, the standard Yo Joe. To me, these were remarks that were necessary to have in my collection because to me, they not only instill the foundation of the G.I. Joe that I knew of because I was never a huge G.I. Joe fan, but it allowed me to, I guess, from then to now, go ahead and tie a little tether onto the foundation, which I am now going to start reading G.I. Joe. So, hey, before I start off, I want to once again acknowledge those of you. Yeah, Tony, I hope you're well. Appreciate you being here. And hey, Marcus, buddy, thanks for cruising on back in. Do my research. Why would I do wrong? What would I do wrong? So, anyways, yeah, it was actually pretty cool stuff. To meet Josh, to ask of him to go ahead and give me some of the little remarks and to I guess invoke some conversation with him. So one of the things that I did is I asked of him at two separate events to go ahead and give me signatures. One of the first event was extremely costly to get to just for the parking situation. And then you had to trek over to get to it. If you weren't already in the park of Universal Studios, then you had to pay almost park entrance to go ahead and just get to the signing event. And then even to do the signing event, you were mandated to buy when they're exclusive. So I just figured, fuck it. Since I'm there, I'll buy two. After talk to him, doing the remarks, having do, just getting into his head, I ended up learning a couple things. One, I broke him. I think I'm kidding. No, he told me he was already kind of made a decision that he, after his already obligated set amount of tour that he was going to do for his signing and for the opening of G.I. Joe, that he was going to go ahead and take essentially a sabbatical from signing events for some time. It allowed him to then concentrate further on the work that is now asked of him, being that he's split between a few services. And it will also allow him to really give what he feels the respect and honor that not only this deserves, but being that this is the third of the trifecta that's going to be now the whole GI, well, the whole Energon universe. He doesn't want to fuck it up. So he's going to go ahead and take some time off after a few signing events. And I think he's going to do a CGC witness event. So that's why I end up getting a few books myself, witness at the event, second event that I end up going to, and getting a significant amount of books myself, which all this kind of leads up to, hey, I just realized that I'm getting so close to 300. So what I'm going to end up doing pretty soon, really soon, probably next week, is a giveaway. Not only while I'm giving away like signed books and stuff, but I will be giving out. I should have better prepared. I wasn't thinking. But, you know, I have limited edition ornaments that I'll be giving out. This is the commemorative ornament for Price is Right, 50-year anniversary. And I will end up giving some of these type of things out too, along with some signed books and so forth in the coming weeks. Definitely probably next week too, after I get a lot of work done. And some signed books. I'm definitely need to go ahead and clear some stuff out, but better than just trying to make money, I'd like to be able to give out some of these things because I have so many dupes. I'm just saying. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these books, all right? I appreciate everyone being here, and let's do this thing. So end up getting just a standard cover A of the G.I. Joe. This is Joshua Williamson's signature. He is now the writer for this. He started, how should I say, the foundation of this thing with the introduction of this thing. Now, knowing that this was essentially the big book when it comes to the start of all this, I end up getting a couple of slabs, so hopefully they'll come back as 9/8. I'm looking forward to those. And then I end up getting the issue number 1, which is really the same thing. I think there's only a couple of panels that change in the sense of expansion of the story. So I end up getting not only one, but a couple of those. And then I'm really enjoying, I don't know if you're reading, but I've really been enjoying everything involved in that. That it also includes the whole Cobra thing, which this story was really, really good. So this is probably one of those books that I'll be giving out as far as, you know, a gift out there. Because like I said, I got a lot. I don't necessarily need 3, but, you know, someone out there just might want one of those signed books, right? I mean, seriously, is there anyone out there that wouldn't want one of these things? Raise your hand. Tell me if you would. I end up getting, I almost got this thing slabbed. This is the one in 25. I really like the cover. Or this is a 1 in 25. Maybe that's a 1 in 10. Yeah, I think it's a one. All the 1 in 25s, I think, have the starburst thing. And then this is the 1 in 50. And I was so close to getting these things slabbed. I really, really dig this cover. This is the new face, which is also lovely, of the Cobra Commander. So yeah, I mean, pretty gnarly. So I ended up getting, obviously, you see a few of those, all slabbed. This is a series that I really, really enjoyed. And I think he really knocked it out of the park. I'm not a massive DC fan. It's not that I hate it. It's just that there's not much there for me. Everything seems kind of just, I don't know, just not my flavor, I guess. And thank you. But this story, this was awesome. During the time of Flatline and everything else, I was really enjoying those stories. So I guess when those writers kind of went away, so did my passion for those stories. Love this wraparound. This is pretty badass. And then 25. So again, not only did I have Josh sign this, but roughly the same time last year, this time, Norm Rapmoon. I ended up seeing him at the Whittier event. They're doing that annually now. I think it was the second annual event at Whittier City. It's just like basically they do it right in the City Hall type area, which is really cool. So I end up having all that Norm signed. I end up basically have Josh sign. So I have the whole series, but I didn't have him sign my whole series as much as I just have him sign all the pieces that Norm's worked on. Norm Rapmoon and I kind of go back. I was introduced to him by Danny Mickey way back when, and because they worked on a lot of projects in the early Image days, I not only had a bunch of his older books to sign, but as I saw him at the Whittier event, I haven't signed some of my newer stuff. If you are a fan of Robin, that was a great series. I really recommend it. So again, all these are signed by not only Norm Rapmoon, but Joshua Williamson, which is the present writer for G.I. Joe. And yeah, I mean, we're going to go through them for a little bit. And this was the final issue for Robin. And then this was the annual, which gave you a little origin story for Flatline. Which was, in my opinion, again, cool story. This was, you see a little piece of Flatline in a monitor in a back screen on the 1034 for Batman. And what's really cool is if I held him right side up, I think the cover works either way, doesn't it? Sorry, people. And then I didn't get too crazy, but I did have him go, and sign some of my Dark Ride. I have a great idea for a sketch on this thing that I think I can get done from right here to right here, and then nearly across the whole piece of it, and then maybe just kind of color in down here, almost like a road. I do have a cool concept. I've just got to find the right artist. I have a couple people I have in mind. I just got to see if their availability on that. But I'm looking forward to try to get a sketch on that. Yes, Joshua Williamson did work on Dark Ride, and this was a fantastic story. I asked, what inspired exactly. I did have my suspicions. I didn't want to make any insinuations to go ahead and possibly influence the answer. Yes, the obvious answer is Disney. It was very Disney oriented. We did get in some really interesting stories about the origin of Disney. He did make some recommendations that I ended up checking out some videos about some myths, fallacies, things like that about Disney and about the origin of Disneyland. As I also, because I was telling him about some of the origins and the places that I worked, and he did say that, this was a myth. I said I did talk to this person and dispelled that myth of that myth, but did confirm some of his ideas that led up to that myth. So we in turn had some cool discussions, and it was so fun that he pointed me one way, I pointed him another, and we were both going, wow, in the discovery of what we were both finding in real time. It was really cool. Dawn of DC is another one that he ended up doing, so I ended up, getting a couple of these. I was really close to making consideration of actually slabbing this one of the Dawn of DC. This is that foiled variant, cover B, which is so difficult to try to. I mean, it's just between the Mylar and everything else, I'm just glad I'm not blinding you guys. You may not be able to see it, but at least I ain't hurting you. Same thing when it came with the primer. I end up having, signed these, but I was making serious consideration of slabbing the cover B, because I mean, seriously, look at that thing. This one you can see a little better. Cool wraparound though. Now, him and Dennis Culver worked on this. Dennis Culver was there. If I knew Dennis was going to be there again, I saw him over at Things for Another World the first day. This was the second day he ended up signing these books. I would have brought more Culver books, but I had no idea, which was another fun and interesting thing to see Dennis, because I'm hoping, as a discussion I saw and had with him between us, actually 4 of us, I'm hoping maybe by the end of summer of next year, he's going to come out with something really, really, really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then the Future State, Coffin Machine #1. I think it's a B cover, yeah? Yeah. I like this cover. So also Josh and Dennis. I had Dennis sign that back in like 2021. So I had Josh recently do that. This is a Souza Micah cover. Really like this cover. I was hoping Souza was going to drop by and just say hi, and because there was a witness there too, but she never arrived, so I didn't slab it. She hasn't made an appearance in a while, and I'm hoping she does soon. So not only did Josh work on the setup starting from the Energon, but as you saw, he ended up doing some Scarlet. He ended up doing, did he? I mean, the G.I. Joe. He ended up doing the Future State. He ended up doing Cobra Commander, and he ended up doing Duke. And this was all set up for what they're writing now, which is just the big 3, which is Void Rivals, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, if you're following the Energon universe. Which, again, has been thoroughly enjoyable. I was never a reader of the storyline before, but now I'm getting all of it. And I'm really loving it. And then these are the last 3 books I have signed for me. These are the 1 and 10 for Dukes. Now that in its entirety, between the remarks and the books, that was 40, I think it's like 44 books. I think I did put something away too, but anyways, that was that week. Along with that, and in the other weeks, like I said, I did fall short my 300, or 350 or something, 350 books that I was trying to get in the 1 month. I believe the tally ended up working out to be between the 154, not including the sketches I got, which it was 2 sketches. Not including the double signatures on the books. I'm just counting the books themselves. And now including all this, it was roughly about scratching 200 books that I ended up getting in that time period. So, hey, it was really cool because, like I said before, as the opening of this, I ended up getting considerably more conversations than I initially anticipated. I got more in-depth conversations and more personal conversations than I really thought that I'd be able to be privy to. And overall, I had an extremely wonderful time. I ended up getting essentially every book I really wanted. I mean, everything else was just icing on the cake. And I ended up learning a lot about how these individuals not only look at their fans, but how they look at their works and what they want to focus on, and even how others look at others. I brought up Tony Fleeks to Joshua Williamson, and he just revered him as a machine. He's just a guy that just really knows how to focus on what he wants to do, and knows how to structure his time very well. Whereas seemed like to me, it was almost envied by Josh on how he's been able to do that. Why Josh has made the decision not to go ahead and do extensive signing events or tours in that nature, just for the reason he doesn't feel that he's been able to successfully manage his time to where he believes he would be able to afford that time. It made me respect the man greatly. And it made me kind of feel bad for the fact that it seemed like he wanted to spend more time with people, but didn't feel that he could afford to now that he has these writing obligations, which he was thrilled about. So again, I guess I don't want to keep going on as much as I like being able to tell you my experiences, because I know that many of you don't have the luxury to be able to meet and greet with many people out there. So to the best of my ability, I like to relay to you, one, believe me when I say every writer that I've been able to sit down and have a decent conversation with, or artist and or writer, artist, publisher, and so forth, they truly, truly are grateful not only for us supporting them, but for asking the questions in which that I think still inspire them to do what they do. So, hey, thanks for watching me. If you enjoyed what you saw, I appreciate everyone decided to cruise in here on the rewind, and those especially on the I said rewind on the live. So I want to acknowledge those that are now on the live again before I depart. Tony, I appreciate you. Jigs, as always, man. You like a rock and a half, dude. I appreciate you, buddy. Comic Lore, your awesomeness is always great legend. The name says it all. What can I say? Circumstances, Marcus, do what you do, which is always the most awesome is you. And DJ, thanks for the support. I'm glad that you did receive your package. Anyone I missed, please don't take it personally. And Christina is always being here dancing with me. I appreciate you. And that's it for me. Entropy. You guys stay well. Take care. Bye.